Or what's going on with you? Pope and ENT, Red Pill Rescue, Philadelphia, California. What's happening with you, good brother? What's going on with
Ain't shit, chilling. You know what I mean? I shake peace and benedictions. How y'all everybody going in on the Mr. Tigger situation. You know what I mean? And if for people that's not familiar, that's the boy Tigger from the basement, BT. You know what I'm saying? He hosts a radio show in Atlanta now. You know what I mean? And
you? Okay.
I don't know who this woman is that he. I ain't even gonna act like I, all this did some background research or whatever. You know what I mean? But just on the surface level, he married, some crazy chick, because he got some domestic situation. You know what I mean? So I wanted to analyze the video and just point out some things and see how kind of project how we got here in the first place. As far as that situation goes. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Right. Yeah.
what you think
Shit.
about it?
Man, shit, to start with, like as soon as I heard about the incident, it just made me reminisce on Big Tigger. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing who he was, you know what I'm saying? At least as far as like in our life, in my life, you know what I'm saying? I remember running home watching the basement and all that kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Nostalgia purposes. So, immediately when something come up, it's like, okay, like you said, I didn't know he was part of a radio station, that kind of stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, where is he now type scenario. And my first knowledge of this before yesterday and today or what have you was some weeks back where the girl did a video where she was all beat up and shit like that, talking about, this is me, this is what happened to me on some domestic shit. And it was said that that was Big Tigger's wife. So I'm like, okay. And then it showed that there was no like type of arrest type thing. It was a deeper situation. You get what I'm saying? Because this is her on there crying, ooh, ooh, and put a post that said, tell the public what happened or something like that, insinuating, all kind of other things. So, that was some weeks back. And then this video came out today or yesterday at this point, depending on your time zone. But and then it was like, is this the video in question? Because if it is, there's multiple things wrong with this video. First, the first thing come to mind is um, that was the nicest version of trying to get your phone back that I've ever experienced. You in a situation where somebody had my phone, you know what I'm saying? So that alone was was like, okay. And then the difference in between what I seen from the video and what was actually being yelled and shit like that, the difference in between that, and immediately made me think of, if this was all audio, if there was only an audio and there was no video, this would look very bad. It would sound very bad. Not look bad, it would sound bad. And knowing how situations are, um, you know, uh, out here, it kind of brought about a lot of discussion, a lot of, dialogue within, and amongst people, and, about how people go about these things. So, yeah, I just want to, touch bases like, how much what it was, meaning in my eyes, based on the history that I didn't seen. And then this video, it telling a completely different story, which brought about how we got here today to have this dialogue. Uh huh.
Oh well, let's look at the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Let's
think
take
that I think you're trying to I think you're trying to filter yourself. You know what I mean?
it. Oh, we gonna get to the video.
I
We
think
gonna
you're
get
trying
to
to
the
filter.
video.
You know, respond to
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
And let's say for all intents and purposes, this video is probably people. Everybody, this video floating around social media. It's
Right.
probably triggering to most people. I haven't seen anybody, advocate on her behalf or even her son's behalf. But let's start to pick apart this video. I'm about to upload this joint.
Right.
I kind of want to like mute it, but we do need
Yeah.
the audio, because the audio is important. But it's kind of annoying to listen to.
Video circulating of the Tigger
To say the least.
You don't need it. What do you need it for?
Get off
What
me.
do you need it for?
Get off me. Please get off
As
me.
soon as you give me my phone.
Please get off
It's
me.
my phone.
Please get off me.
Registered in my name.
Please get off me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my ear in my ear.
Oh, sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Please get off of
You
me.
can stay right here.
So all right,
Good.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
pause right here.
Right.
All right, this situation right here. All right, so all right, I don't know the backstory. You know what I'm saying? But we've seen a lot of memes and TV shows and shit like that. Where women is like going through people's phone, and I don't mean to say that in like a derogatory way. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to report, as a journalist on the things that we have, the content that we have consumed. Rather,
Right.
so
Right.
all of us are familiar with the same scenario. They look like they was in the bed, right? They look like they got their pajamas on. She had her suspicions about what he may be doing or whatever. He probably left his phone on the bed to the bathroom or something. You know what I'm saying? And she said, "This is my moment." She probably learning the code. You know what I'm saying? Rehearsing his finger pattern or whatever, or maybe she figured out some way to get into the phone or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's that small
Just
window
even
of
having
time that
possession.
your phone and do you put it down? It might be like 15 seconds before lock or something. Basically, like she been on some jail shit. She been doing enough research. And I'm speculating. I don't know this to be true, but she probably did enough research to figure out when she phone, hacked this phone or whatever. So however she went about it, she got the phone, right? And I guess she tried to go on the phone. Maybe she did go on the phone. She probably called people, who knows, right? You know what I'm saying? So he tried to get the phone back, right? So, that's a touchy situation, because it's like, all right, like it's almost like somebody baiting you to do something to them so they can say that you beat them up or they can call the police. So it's like, it's a slippery slope, out there for the brothers, when we had these type of domestic situations, you know what I mean? So I do gotta say that I think he handled the situation pretty well. I know a lot of people out there that would have got way more physical, in this situation. So shout out to his restraint, but even just this still shot picture right here, it was like if somebody just took this out of context, it would look like rough and wrong, you know what I mean? But it's like the video, plays it show like, people familiar with with this imagery so far. It's been viral all day, past 2 days or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can see that he was gentle, with her. He didn't throw her on the ground. She threw herself on the ground. We've seen plenty of videos, movies, even real life, shit where, women get mad at somebody, themselves on the ground or knock their head up against the wall, and get a bruise and then say, this dude did it. You know what I mean? Now, just to kind of to spin back to what you were saying, Pope, like you said that because I didn't really know any backstory behind this, but you said that she had put up some videos. Was it put some videos before or after this altercation that
Before
she was saying that she got abused?
This was before, some weeks back. She did an Instagram post with her face bruised up. She light skinned, so shit show up. So she insinuated, asked them, on some, I'm paraphrasing, asked them about what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? To insinuate that Tigger did it. You get what I'm saying? And then so that it said that there was a domestic situation. You get what I'm saying? And then this comes out. So, like I said, the story is from there. Like we're only getting what the media is saying. Of course, probably somebody like TMZ
Right.
or whoever the
Right.
local
Like, for me,
local people.
like
And
Like-
and
like
the whole
for me,
thing,
like this is just new to me. I don't know nothing about it. I just opened up my phone and I just seen this. I didn't even know this was Tigger from the basement. I didn't even know who this was. I just was like, I just thought it was just a random video. I think that, I might be pretty much desensitized from absorbing too much content like this. So like when I initially seen it, I wasn't even like. It was just like another video. So it was like, even when he was saying Mr. Tigger, it didn't click in my head. Like, I guess Bull just named Tigger. You know what I mean? But it didn't click in my head that this
Right.
Tigger from the basement. It wasn't like the
right.
10th time that I seen somebody post it that it clicked in my head. Like, oh shit, that's Tigger from the basement.
Actually, Tigger. Yeah.
And
yeah.
then when
actually,
I'm
Tigger.
looking at him, like, yeah, that is from the basement. So.
Right,
That
right.
threw me for a loop a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna get more into this video. All right, now, just to add further context here, I noticed one thing about this video is that in this build up to the climax at the end, right? She's not screaming, she's not crying right here, right? And I'm almost willing to assert, right, that she doesn't know she's being recorded right now. Maybe
No,
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Think about that. You think she might know she's being recorded right now?
Yes, because the dialogue of the son lets you know that it is being recorded. The dialogue of what he was saying, the words he was using the whole time, and the words that she was using lets me know from experience of learning these things about this type of situation that if this was all audio, then he would be convicted based on the audio. They didn't even have to subject the video.
Well, what I'm saying is at up until this point, what I'm saying at this point right here, I don't think that she's aware of the son's presence yet. I think that once she starts hearing
he's
his
in the
voice,
house.
Going like more into character, or maybe she's trying to like warrant a response from her son, like, you know what I mean? Because she kind of turned it up a little bit. Like, she's not crying yet right here. She starts sobbing and doing all that shit later. You know what I'm saying? Like when she started hearing a reaction from her son, and then she just kind of like turned it on, like, oh. Let's go into it. But it's crocodile tears nonetheless. But you know what I mean? Of course, we both in agreement that she's manipulating her son to some capacity. You know what I'm saying? Which is like a serious problem here. Like, it's a lot. Honestly, it's a lot to unpack right here. But we're going Martin.
Do you not see Autumn crying?
Stop, I'm not doing that.
Yes, you did.
All right.
She dropped.
I want to run it back a little bit. Hold on.
Fucking man.
Oh, sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
Hey,
Say
look,
that before.
when she just said that he
Fucking
manhandled.
I'm not manhandling.
Do you
You
not
see
see
that?
Autumn
You're
crying?
manhandled.
Yeah, she said
that.
that. She said it.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my
hear what
phone.
she
Get
said.
off of
You
me.
can say that before. Say it in my
Please
name.
get off of me.
Give me my phone.
You're sticking my ear in my ear.
Oh, sorry.
Get off of me.
Give me my phone.
He stopped
She say-
immediately.
Are you sticking
Like
my
an earring.
earring in her ear? Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said it. Yep, said there was an
I think
earring
that's
stuck in
what she
there.
said. You
So
sticking
then
my
he,
earring.
yep, and he moved his hand
But, all right.
immediately.
At first, I didn't know what the fuck she said. I
Go on.
thought she was speaking a different language
Yeah.
at first. But then on the playback,
No.
I caught it just now. I think she said, "Yeah, you sticking my earring in my ear." But it's like,
Yeah.
nobody asks you to take the phone and dive on the ground and do all this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
in the first place, but
Yeah.
it's like he not roughing you off.
Well,
He ain't. You can't even say he putting hands on her. Like technically, but now he not like he ain't punch her or
well,
slap her.
no.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy? Like, all right, let me play this a little bit. Let's play a little bit.
You can stay right on the floor.
Girl,
What?
fucking manhandling.
I'm not manhandling.
Do you not see all them crime?
Give me
Bro,
my phone.
why did you
Stop.
do
I'm
that?
not doing that.
Yes,
She
you did. You
dropped.
did.
She dropped. She dropped.
Bro, you're literally stepping on her.
I'm not stepping on her, Alex. I just want
Bro.
my phone.
Did he say
give me
she
the phone
dropped?
and it'll be over. She could give me the phone and it would be over.
Bro, just get over her. She's gonna
I'm
give
not
you.
on her at all. Give me my phone.
Get off of me.
But it's crazy that young boy, like, all right, like I don't know what young boy said. Do you not see? I guess he was, referring to like the stuff on the floor. I don't know what. He's just trying to find something to say. I guess you know what I'm saying. But like it's just crazy. Like these young boys, like it's the excessive use of bro. Even like in the presence of elders, like technically, he's his elder. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whose house this is. I'm assuming this is his house, right? So, if he married this girl, whatever, and this is her son, right? And I guess I'm assuming that if that's the case, he moved her and the son into his home, right? Like, it's like, all right, like, like, why is you referring to this man as bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what'd you think about that? Like, if you had a kid, like, or if you him in this situation, and let's say, like, even just on some regular shit, like, just a regular day, and he like, yo, bro, pass me the sugar, bro, or some shit like that. Like, how would you feel with this kid? Like, the point I'm trying to make is, how would you feel about this kid, like, calling you bro?
What? He's looking at his mom going through some shit. He can call whatever. He's unstable right now, so it don't even like his shit. He got some shit going on because he's watching his mom go through some shit. So he gonna say whatever he wants to. You can see that through his dialogue.
That's not what I'm asking you. Like, I understand that, but what I'm asking you is just outside of that, like, because like these kids, it's an excessive use of bro. So I'm willing to suspect that he uses this. He just like any other kid. Like he probably called this man bro. Like outside of this, you know what I'm saying? That might be something that's been normalized, even. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't even really responding to this shit like that. Like he, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm asking you. Like outside of this, if you had, if you had moved a woman into your home and her son was calling you bro, how would you feel about that?
I wouldn't even be in that situation. These kids are different. This is a whole different day and age. You live in a situation with women and other kind of shit, and the kid ain't yours. Yeah. I mean, what is a kid supposed to say?
Play the rest of the video.
Yeah.
See, if I was anybody else, you wouldn't be doing this.
If you say so. Here's my phone.
Bro, just get over her. You can buy a new phone.
She really an actor move.
Mr. Tigger! Mr. Tigger, get
But even
over her
before,
now.
he said you can buy another phone. Did you see what he said? He said you could buy another phone. The kid was telling Tigger that he could buy another phone.
Yo, that was probably the craziest part of that whole little clip. That's what I wanted to point out, is that how like, this, why would you even say something like that? Like, that's super crazy. Like, and then it's like, that make me think like this young boy might be like, I don't know, he might be a little slow a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, not to say nothing, bad about, people that might be mentally challenged. Some issue there, you know what I mean? That could like lead to some other issues, like to buy another phone though. Like at what point did it click in your head that your mom should give back the phone that she's taking from somebody. Like, all right, like him, like, you know, I seen people say online, like, you know, he should have beat her up. You know, I even seen people advocate to beat the young boy. You know, you know what I'm saying, for yelling and just like I was saying earlier, for calling him bro. And you know, that was part of the reason why I asked you that question, because like most people, when we see videos like that, you know, we go straight to the comments, right? We'd be like, yeah, I want to see what people got to say about this. You know what I mean? So I was reading the comments, and you know, and people were saying stuff like, you know, they would have did the young boy, you know, she lucky it wasn't me. You know what I mean? And her seen a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But some people was like advocating for basically for domestic violence. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't condone. You know, that's why, you know, I salute, you know, dude, you know, for not tuning her up and, you know, situation getting violent. You know what I mean? But one thing I wanted to point out about that is, and I would like, you know, to hear your feedback on this, because, you know, I think the conversation is necessary, but we're not gonna make this too lengthy. But I think that, you know, he's giving her like a huge pass, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like let's say he wanted to be petty, right? Let's say he wanted to be petty, like, all right, you want to take my phone? All right, well, I'm gonna call the police. You know what I'm saying? And if she didn't give that phone back by the time the police got there, it's quite possible that she could have been charged with a felony. You know what I'm saying? Now I would like to hear what's your feedback on that. What you think about that?
Not at all.
You know,
If you'd have called the police, they wouldn't have done nothing. I would think they would do.
Experience, even. You know what I'm saying?
No, I would think they'd do nothing. It's a domestic dispute. They could have did nothing. You call the police, they come through and say whatever. They got to come into the house, and she didn't been and did what? By law. What are they gonna do? Come over and try to act like they're gonna go get the phone? She can just hide it or put wherever. They're not gonna go in and go search the house looking for it. Not at all. It's a domestic situation. Police will pull off and laugh at you for calling them. That's reality. There is nothing they would have done in that situation. They're not going to go get the phone. Yep, they'll leave and laugh at you. In any inner city, if you out here, call somebody. You'd be a damn fool for that. Wow. Straight up. And that scenario that you speak of, that would be in a you know.
I mean, I hope that's
perfect. Not happening. No, not out here. That's out. That's not even a.
I hope that's only happening like, well, I guess, like bad cops. Like I hope that's not happening across the board, because that, I think, you know, that kind of response would, you know, trigger a lot of domestic abuse. You know, things getting worse, because it's like, damn, if you call the police and you know, you ask them for help, and then they come and then say like, oh well, it's a domestic situation. Like so you're saying that the police would tell you that they can't get involved in a domestic situation?
What they're gonna do? Make her get the phone? Where are they gonna find the phone? Where are they gonna look for it? Where are they gonna say give the phone? It's scenarios, situations. They're not gonna go that deep. They don't care. That's just reality. I live in San Francisco. You know what I mean? Domestic, all them kind of things. You know what I'm saying? That shit then got ran. That's old shit. You know what I mean? An issue like that, they'll be like this. They'll tell you like this. They'll tell you we're out here trying to fight crime, and you're calling us about a phone. That's what they'll tell you, and run off and be like, thank you for your time. We'll note it, duly noted. That's the reality. You know, maybe some white people.
Yeah, but then
about black folks.
Now, let's say that was let's. All right, so all right.
He lost his job. You know, he lost his job, right?
Let's say that
he
happened.
stepped away from his job because of this.
Well, yeah, I want to put let me put up this slide real quick.
Yeah,
but you know,
he stepped away from that radio station job that he has and said he's going to focus on his family. That's what type time he on. That scenario, that situation from today to where we are right now. Mm-hmm.
Tiny screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Yep.
This is I kind of put this shit up backwards, so my mistake. But anyway, since it's up here, she they saying she got arrested. You know, I guess it was earlier today or yesterday, last night.
Mm.
You know, I don't know, but
Mm. Depending on
on
time.
some shit from 2019, like what it say? Brown's arrest tied to a 2019 case involving a 10-year-old child comes days after the Tigger announced that he would be stepping away, or just like you were saying for the morning show, you know,
Yep.
his arrest on aggravated battery charges. So he was arrested.
Yeah,
Was he
because she
arrested?
had bruises on her shit.
Was
He
he
was
arrested?
arrested for the situation.
But what was he
Yeah.
arrested for this particular situation that we just saw, or was
Yeah.
it like
Yeah.
something?
Yeah. 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 That was what got posted first. So the media out, you know what I'm saying? She did that on Instagram. So everybody looked at it and assumed that it's a domestic situation. And then you see he was already charged with some shit. So then it looks like he's guilty of doing some shit. You understand? So everybody flamed him. That's what happened. The public flamed him because they thought he was in some domestic shit because of what she posted. So during the course of
Well,
all of that,
I didn't
now
see
this
nobody flame.
video,
I only I ain't see nobody
no, at
flaming him.
first,
You know, so that's what I'm
no,
saying.
no, I'm
I'm new
talking
to
about
this.
at first. No, I'm talking about at first, like 2 weeks ago when
Yeah, I didn't
the
hear about
video came, that
it.
video came out. Yeah. No, I just be looking at YouTube and shit. You feel me? So I was watching these, Poetic Flacco and those other people who be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Those other reacting people. Huh? Yeah, they was
Can you
talking
see
about
this?
it. So can I? Yeah, hold on. Let me
This shit to
increase
read
the
it.
size of it. Here, let me see. Per investigators, the warrant in Maryland is related to the 2019 disappearance of a 10-year-old child. Brown was charged with felony interference with child custody in Georgia, and she will be extradited to Maryland. Last month, Tigger was arrested on aggravated battery and cruelty to children charges after he was accused of assaulting Brown during a physical confrontation at their Georgia home in May. In a video uploaded to her Instagram, Brown showed visible bruising around her eye, telling viewers to ask her husband what happened to her face. Now, that's what happened. See, the Ring camera footage released by TMZ, widely shared online, has shown two incidents involving Tigger and Brown. One where Brown allegedly suffered a gash on her right eye that required stitches, and a recent clip in which two can be seen wrestling for possession of a cell phone. Brown was granted a temporary protective order by a judge, as well as temporary custody of their minor children, along with exclusive access to their home. While Tigger has denied all accusations and charges levied against him, including allegations made by Brown of infidelity of his V103 co-host, what's her name? He announced on Sunday that he was stepping away from his morning show and asked for privacy for himself and his family. He said, quote, from him, he said, right now, my personal life is in the public eye and has become the subject of overwhelming speculation and misinformation, he wrote in a statement shared on his Instagram. Through all of this, what hurts the most is being away from my son. Nothing is more important to me than being a great father. So I've decided to step away from the mic for a while to focus on my family and give my legal team the room they need. As I previously said, I unequivocally deny every allegation, and I'm looking forward to clearing my name. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Yep, that's it.
I'm assuming it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same shit right here. So this is the
Yeah.
actual post right here. So he just read the shit right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn, shit keep falling. Hold on.
All right.
Shit, I might get one. Be drunk today.
Excuse me. Yeah.
All right, so Of course, domestic violence, shit like that is a problem. I didn't see the doorbell camera footage. Did you? Did you see it? Did you have that footage?
I don't have that footage, but I do remember when I remember her Instagram post with the picture. I mean, with her video of herself doing that shit because it became like I said, it was people talking about that shit and that was when the public was, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, bro, you did this with no context. There was no, she said, ask my husband what happened to me. You feel what I'm saying? So it was insinuating at the same time, convicting him in public opinion. This was about public opinion before it was about the truth. You get what I'm saying? So that's how it was presented to the public. And then that's why today's dialogue was, you know what I'm saying, about why not have that same energy, you know what I'm saying, knowing that situation wasn't as it was, you know what I mean? Like they was really thinking that he was, you know what I mean, doing this, that, and the third, but seeing different shit, what's done in the dirt to come out to the light. You get what I'm saying? But this court of public opinion. Yeah. And not to confuse, excuse me, I'm over here.
Did he beat her up like almost?
No, but see, a video.
Well, I see it's a video that was posted a week ago that they said it appears that he was tuning her up. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, I don't even know if I saw that. I probably did because there's nothing I don't know.
Yeah, TMZ is the devil.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we'll get into that too.
Y'all releasing this man ring camera footage, like that's crazy.
How do you obtain it? It's police footage. You know what I'm saying? She had to give it up. Imagine who had to give it up. If two people, if she had exclusive rights to the house, and who has ring? Oh yeah, the police. My bad. Flock, right?
Yeah, TMZ is the police, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for real. I remember I seen a video with DMX, and he had got arrested, and like when you get arrested and then you gotta go, like when you first get arrested and you gotta see the judge and they read the charges on over the little TV channel.
Prelim.
They was there for that, and he was like, how the fuck y'all know I got arrested? You know what I mean? They was at that shit. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're like, oh yeah.
I know that's
we're gonna get into them
today, and he's be like, I'm a lawyer. Like, I think that's in the video.
So what is? Yeah. What does this say right here on the screen? Oh, that's Tigger's statement. For as long as I've been in the industry, my focus has been to keep the spotlight on the culture and incredible people. But right now, my personal life's in the public eye. Okay, that's pretty much what he said before. Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but we're gonna give everybody their light to shine, or everybody their voice to speak. So if that's what he said, or you know what I mean, because as just looking at that situation, because just from that video, it looked wrong in so many levels. Because I know scenarios and I know how people function, and there's a lot of people who are doing prison time behind some accusations, false or otherwise, and because the leverage is on the individuals, especially when they're mad. Then again, that's neither here nor there, but it's a societal thing. We ain't gonna say a culture thing, because culture and society are synopsis. I mean, they're one and the same. But as we know to be true, just even the way that the dynamics of this.
Let's get the ring camera footage. I downloaded the video. I want to see, did he actually tune her up? I don't want to be defending him if he actually.
There you go. Never plugged it back up. This is yours.
I am bleeding.
This is yours.
I'm bleeding, so take a picture. No. Take a picture. Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Get off the picture.
I can't see shit on that angle.
All right, but you gotta cover.
Let me get out that book. That there, right? I mean, I'm climb too. See how long it take me to edit it.
Yep. But in the meantime, between time, I mean, and speaking of that, TMZ.
All right, I'm about to upload this John. Upload the. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we're live and direct.
Edit
Doing
that
it
out
on the
for-
fly. Yeah, doing it on the fly. Keeping all the rest of those things. And so where are you located, man? What side of the
There
planet
you
you
go.
on?
Never plugged it back up.
Oh shit.
This is yours.
I am bleeding.
This is yours.
I'm bleeding, so take a picture. No. Take a picture. Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Get off the picture. Get off of me. Get off of me.
Whoa, hold on. I'm screaming. What?
There you
Nah,
go.
that's
Never plugged it
you
back
sound
up.
suspect.
This is yours.
Yeah.
I am bleeding.
This is yours.
I'm bleeding, so take a picture.
I can't really say it now.
Take a picture.
But
Take
not,
a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Take a picture.
Alicia, stop.
Get off the picture.
I don't see him
Get off of me.
speaking, like
Get off of me.
with the duck.
That's it? Nah, hell no. Come on.
Bro,
Hold up.
I mean, like, you know,
I'm-
but see, like
I'm not a
if,
video.
if that's what TMZ, if that's what TMZ is leading with, then you know that's continuous. Like, all right, you know, because the caption said it appears that he's assaulting. Like, you know, it's like, come on, man. Like, it's pretty much the same thing, you know, with the kid recording. Now, who is that kid? Is that's not his kid? Is it?
I don't know. No, calling him
He's
Mr.
not-
Tigger.
he's calling him
That's
Mr.
not your
Tigger
kid.
like that. He's not.
Yep. Unless he got some weird parent shit going
Yeah,
on.
because he
but
did say
I doubt it.
he was, you know,
Yeah.
like in the statement, he did say something about being away from his son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
but
that's
he
what
also
made me
has
think
other
like
kids.
that. Like, well, you know, who is the young boy?
That might be her kid or something.
But
I
why
don't
is-
know. I'm not
but why is
speculating
he
on none
with-
of that.
You know what? I already know why. I already know why. He's not.
Yeah.
He don't got his kids with him because of the battle on whatever ongoing battle he got with his previous baby mom. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know.
She
I
probably
just-
like
Yeah.
she don't want, you know, she don't want her kids around that bitch, and you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, you know, because he said he was missing his own son, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, he missing his own son while being disrespected by somebody else's son. You know, this is crazy work, man. You know what I mean? Struggle for a black man, man. I tell you, man. You know, so do we got anything else for this? Do you want to add a final thought to this situation? Because we don't want to spend too much time.
Well, I did see the
you know,
I did see it.
not to like disrespect it or nothing, but not to unpack here, you know, in front.
Yeah, nah. You know, I seen the people making light of it. But no, it was just a scenario that, you know, needed to be addressed because people, like, one of the scenarios is to do the type of shit in front of your child to show your child that this type of behavior is acceptable, knowing that the dude is not doing something to you, but you're yelling out things that would insinuate that those are the type of things, or that that is the right behavior that you're supposed to do. If a man is not respected, this is what she's teaching her son. Imagine that. Imagine her like actually this
Right.
is what she's given to her son. This is, you know, if I'm a queen and this is
Hey,
the man that I'm got in the house and I'm doing that type of stuff. Imagine what the, you know, that kid is embedding that type of behavior in his head, thinking that a woman crying is the law, and that part, whatever she says goes,
right.
even though visually he's not seeing her being assaulted. When she said you're manhandling me and
Yeah,
he's
it's
watching her
too
do
many.
nothing.
It's too many around like that, like where a woman can and they be running down and beating up somebody, no questions asked. And it might be doing the opposite of what it need to be done for what happened before they get to clapping, you know,
Mm,
or
mm,
something else. You know what I mean?
mm,
You know, it
yep.
is like I seen plenty of times where like so a
It's-
female be like, you know, you don't know, you messing with whatever. I have mother come through here and shoot, shoot this place up, and all of it. It just sounds like wild stuff, just it, implicating somebody else in something. It's like they don't even, and that person don't even know what's going on, and that person, and they
Yep. Brother struggle
they
streaming.
loved one could be completely in the wrong. It's sad because a lot of like, yeah,
Y-
yeah,
your reception,
anytime that
your
I was
reception in and
ever
out.
approached to body, what I mean, at the behest of female, like, I always check and verify first, you know. But there's plenty of dudes that went on crash out mode only to find out to be in the wrong, you know. Or they crash out on somebody and pummel that person, and next week they back with that same dude again. Like, ain't so as a brother, man, you gotta check and verify. But like these females are molding their sons to act like this. And fucked up thing about it is women like that. One thing trying to like express to like women that be having sons, and then they be doing like foul shit to men, and it's like, yo, you realize that you wouldn't want your son to meet somebody like you. The things that you're doing to me, the things that you're doing to these black men out here, would you want somebody to do that to your son? You know what I'm saying?
Mm, no.
You know what I'm saying? So you're using your kids to get over on a brother, or to get a brother in trouble or whatever. It's like it's super diabolical. It's like you're almost training the man to this child to destroy himself when he becomes a man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He won't become one.
that's
How
what I'm
you
saying.
gonna
Like,
become one when you
it's a whole bunch to really unpack with this. Like, it's a
have?
series. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So the main thing is,
serious situation, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, like, how we point out about the whole sadistic humor thing. They revel in that. They like to see. They like to laugh at the misfortunes of others, or it's just good tea or entertainment. But this is a serious
what,
situation when you got kids
what,
involved and kids are being manipulated. To try to send a man up the river, to get a man to be locked up or whatever, and because that young boy will become a man himself one day. You know what I'm saying? And then he might really understand. It might take for him to become an adult, and for something to happen similar to him to really understand. That brother situation. Now I see. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of brothers grow up and even resent their mom because they found the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like out there, like y'all playing on fire with y'all kids, like using y'all kids as pawns in the chess. It's a reason why the queen can move all over the chessboard. and it came all the time. You know what I'm saying? We have to logically assess step we make. You know, you can't just be all over the place. You know what I mean? That's a super fact, man. So yeah, I mean, this is unfortunate. You know, there's a lot of brothers that, you know, don't get to use their star power, or, you know, an expensive legal team to, you know, to fight these situations. A lot of dudes get sent up, you know, they get locked up, all kind of fucked up shit. You know, even, you know, assaulted themselves. You know, like how we described, like, you know, she could call her brothers or cousins or whoever, and you know, and they run down dude and find even do that. But, you know, you know what I'm saying? None is, you know. So, you know, brothers, check and verify before you let the, you know what I mean? What you got, Pope?
But yeah, for sure. I mean, you gotta check your situations, and everything's recorded. You gotta look at how things are being recorded. People get put in situations. You can't get about a situation. You gotta make sure you can mitigate. You gotta get out in front of shit and just assume that everything's being recorded. It's a lot of people that are in stuck ass situations, and that's how that get there. You know what I mean? You can't just bounce out of a marriage. That ain't some like leave a bitch type shit, especially when you got stuff involved. And that's how a lot of people be in situations. I live in San Francisco. $120,000 a year is low income. Your kids get free lunch, low income. People are getting divorces and have to sleep in the same bed. Figure it out. You get what I'm saying? Like, so all that, you get what I'm saying? So you might be in a situation where you can't get up out of there. They got shit tied to each other. You get what I'm saying? So people be in situations where they don't be able to escape. Understand that. Keep your peace. Facts. Yep. And moving right along.
One thing I want to point out was that, you know, you showed me a video earlier that we're reluctant because of its robbery and attempts to blanket all, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you know, there's a difference between, you know, that's why I always like to point out that, you know, like, no such thing as a man, bad woman, you know, a woman or a man, that's a title, that's something to become, you know. So, you know, when you're not being a man, you're just a male.
Yep.
Or a boy at best. You know what I'm saying? You're saying,
right,
you know, to provide the balance and female side. You know, so when you're a woman, you're operating, you know, at your rare form. You know what I'm saying? You know, even when you're a lady, you know, you're a lady, you represent something. You know, like the first lady at house, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, but if you're not operating in that, then you're just being female or just a girl at best. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we express our disdain about the things that happen in our community, we're not even talking about women. You know, we love women. You know, and we would like for the rhetoric to be corrected on the female side too. Is that, you know, when you're talking about men, you know, most females haven't even been around like men. You know, so and like even in this, you know, the dialogue will have to express the term real men. But, you know, that's the point that we're trying to make, is that a man is a title, you know. So when you become a man, you're a man, period. You know, the same thing as a woman, you know. So, you know, these
evolution.
people are not operating in their true form of what they're supposed to have become, you know, especially adult. You know what I mean? Like, once you become adult, you're a woman, you're supposed to, you know, if you're a female, you're supposed to become a woman. You know, male, you're supposed to become a man, you know, a boy or a girl, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to become a man, you're supposed to become a woman, you know. So, you know, teaching your son to like almost erode his own manhood. You know what I'm saying? Super diabolical. You know what I mean? But another thing is that when you think about the whole deception tactics, you know, like that's like the video was talking about how, you know, was using blanketed terms like black women are liars, and shit like that, which again we don't condone. And but I understood where she was coming from. She was talking about the females, or the degenerates. Both counterparts, we have degenerates on both sides. But she was talking about the ones who don't strive to become women, that don't lead with moral turpitude. Um, so obviously she was expressing some disdain about that, but she was saying that there's a lot of lying and manipulation on the behalf of these people, this particular group of people, rather.
Right.
So we gotta be careful when we talk about this kind of stuff, because there's always gonna be somebody that's like, you said that it's not all.
Yeah.
It's like we're not even saying
Right.
that,
Right.
But
Right.
but but the she was saying that talking about the manipulation tactics, the lying, the gaslighting, is running around our community. You know what I'm saying? And how it's being used to somebody's advantage, that they can like play the damsel in distress or act like they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
but one thing that we had to highlight is that where did the white woman, just like Shahrazad Ali said, the white man has been the template for black women for the past 200 years plus, right? You know what I'm saying? Even when we go back and look at laws that that make it illegal for black women to have their hair out. You know what I'm saying? Like, black women used to have their hair out with adornments and flowers, as the sisters do. You know what I'm saying? And they made it illegal. Like, no, you can't do that. You're drawing too much attention to yourself. You got to wrap that hair up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the whole bonnet type shit came from. Is that you had generations of women who were literally not allowed to wear their hair outside. To the point that it got normalized. So even when you get the law away, stop enforcing that law, the sisters are still coming outside with their hair covered. You know what I'm saying? Or they scared to come outside. Like you ever met girls that's like, yo, I can't go outside and get my hair done. Well, when you look at the origin of where this shit come from, it's like you have a better understanding of it. We have to understand the paradigm before we move to judge. You know what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of this, these things need. You know what I'm saying? Is for us to really understand the paradigm. But it was illegal for black women to have their hair out. So it gives us better understanding as to how black women move today in terms of their hair. Keeping it covered. Wearing a weave all the time, like, all of that shit stems from that. You know what I'm saying? Because you think way before weave, you couldn't wear fake hair. You had to wear your own shit. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't grab clippers and just cut your hair off. So there's a lot of sisters that was wearing natural hair. It was like, now fast forward today, it's like you rarely see women wearing natural hair. So we have to understand the psychological effects of the things that has been done to us. And just on the female side, black females have been manipulated and gaslighted by white women for ages. You know what I'm saying? And that 200 300 year scope that we talking about. Think about how white women have like act like have been the aggressor or done some evil shit, and black woman trying to or whatever, and the white girl can flip on her and be like, oh, she did the and the black girl looking like, really, how many times that happened? So it goes into the paradigm of hurt people, and unfortunately our sisters have learned that tactic from being abused by it. You know what I'm saying? So and just seeing that template, how it's being for them. We see even back to the programming, like we seen plenty of TV shows, cartoons, shit like that, where a girl could be speeding down the highway and the cops pull her over and then she perk her titties up and go, oh, I didn't know. You're not going to give me a ticket, rub on her leg or some shit. And, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like we got to see like where this kind of shit comes from. You know what I'm saying? To really address it, because you can't expect like sick people or damaged people to just act right. You know, we got to go to the root source of their problem. You know, so we can spend all day on this. But we got other topics that we got to go in on. So I hope everything works out with that. I don't know their last name, but the Tigger family. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them. I hope everything work out with them. I hope everything work out with black people just in general, because they're trying to have us, warring against each other on some bullshit. You know what I mean? And they really trying to perpetuate this whole, black gender war type thing. You know what I'm saying? So anytime that domestic violence is displayed in the black community, is never good. Because you really got to think about, as we close this out, you really got to think about how often do you see positive imagery of black families? You know what I'm saying? So even this being broadcasted is an attack on black families, because they want you to think that it's like it's not even possible anymore. But what you got for this, bro?
The end. For sure. Way to close it out. Yeah. But
The end.
yeah.
Well,
yes.
to be, let's say that.
Yeah.
I had to touch on this again. You might have to do a follow up. But the girl, she got arrested. They said she got arrested. But let's just add this real quick. They said she got arrested because we don't want to leave that on the table. They said she got arrested. She did some wild shit, with the kid. And the same shit. We see people, not honor they. If you got some input for this, is needed. Not honor their arrangements when supposed to be given. When you got split custody and. It's your time to get back the kid, and she like, I ain't giving back the kid. Fuck that, it's my kid, because for some reason, a lot of females feel like it's just their kid and not, our kid, so they feel sometimes they be feeling like they don't have to honor, the arrangements that they have, so I don't know what the exact details of this whole kidnapping situation, but I'm willing to bet that is probably exactly what we're talking about. It's probably a situation where they had split custody and she didn't bring the kid back, and got hit with some kidnapping type shit. What do you think, Bo?
Well, it's not. I don't even think it's her kid. It's some shit that she was blocking somebody else from being able to get their kid, or something else. It's way deeper than that. Willie D was talking about it earlier on his podcast. He was, shout out to Willie D. But yeah, he was talking about the scenario with that.
Okay,
and
shout
about,
out Willie D. So I'm gonna check that.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Because there was updates on that. They having access to being able to figure these things. But yeah, so just even closing on that, we really got to check our surroundings, check our scenarios, and we'll follow back up with that. It's definitely something that has a lot of components to it and requires further dialogue. So we'll get with that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because it was a broader scope into the sinister, games that, people be playing, where they can act like they a victim when they really be the aggressor, or they be in the nefarious shit. You know what I mean? So, again, as we close this out, we just gonna say that. Don't be quick to just go off of what I telling. I don't care who it is. If it's man or woman. Don't go off of what somebody telling you straight off the rip, because somebody might be using you as a crash dummy. I mean, yeah. So what the flock is going on? It's a lot of flocker. You know what I mean? We get shift gears. Go to some more turning topics. What you got? What kind of shit you got for us today? A rapid fire today?
Yeah. There's a few things that's been going on. Shit, I'm always paying attention. This is surveillance state out here, so and a surveillance city. For the most part, what we've been paying attention to.
Yeah, I just wanted to that. Me is just rapid fire. So whatever you.
Yeah.
We go in on it. You know, I add some further insight to it. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well,
you know,
shit.
the
I know
Jews ain't appraised until I look at it. And that's not even main character syndrome. You know, it's really necessary.
Hold on. Yeah, because basically, when we was talking
on
about
the table, and I'd be like, how do you see that? Like, you
know, hold on, let me see. Yeah,
and it's like, you know, that resist, you know, yet you know, Jackson just.
Let's see here. Oh,
I was just looking at some things I was researching from back in 2020 about you know the AI robotics and the covariant technology. You know, after they put in the light poles, you know, on the lockdowns.
Yeah, all these things
like,
that are coming to fruition.
You know what I'm saying? Here we are with
here.
With the flock.
Oh yeah, with the flock. It was external. It's from both. Let's see here. What really went down with this? Here we are. Yeah, I was looking up. What is this? Oh yeah, hold on. All right. We was talking about what the flock. Yeah, I was going to talk about because out here in the city, they've been using these flock cameras and investigations and so on and so forth to where it's really like of the utmost because this what happens when all these things come together and they all in sync.
Get on the ground! They're up here. We go back on Richmond Parkway. There's a bag they threw out on the left side.
See, this happened just recently, and this is their investigative tactics that they use. And, you know, this is out here in San Francisco where all of this stuff is already working. They got the flock cameras, they got the drones, they got the real-time investigative units and so on and so forth. We out here with it, like that shit you seen in the movies, that's out here. This is them using it and making commercials about it. This is the police showing you this in real time. You get what I'm saying? Like coming to a city near you, check.
In June 2026, the San Francisco Police Department's Violence Reduction Team, or VRT, was investigating a series of gang-related homicides and conducting surveillance to prevent further violence. During the investigation, VRT officers observed several armed suspects exit a vehicle in San Francisco carrying firearms, including assault-style rifles. Based on their observations, investigators believed the group was preparing to target rival gang members.
Based on their observations, they were thinking that they was going to go look for some others. Really?
Continued to monitor the suspects and identified several known gang members. On June 28, 2026, investigators observed the group travel to Concord, where they allegedly committed a jewelry store robbery. After the robbery, the suspects switched vehicles and officers coordinated an arrest plan. In Richmond, California, one suspect exited the vehicle and entered another SUV.
Now, they just mentioned in San Francisco, now this San Francisco Police Department, they just mentioned that they found that somebody went over to Concord. Let me tell you, that's about 8-9 cities away. Now they're over in Richmond, which is about another 4 cities away. Understand this is tracking, real time. Following them, they knew they had weapons and things. Look how they got you.
When officers attempted to detain him, he fled on foot but was quickly apprehended. A search of the SUV recovered a handgun, an assault-style rifle, ammunition, and evidence related to the investigation. Meanwhile, the second vehicle fled, leading officers to monitor it via drones.
All right, guys, we're up here. We come back on Richmond Parkway. There's a bag they threw out on the left
Officers observed occupants throwing items from the vehicle, believed to be evidence from the robbery.
Now when he stopped. Get cover, get cover. Hey, one voice. Walk straight backwards.
The vehicle eventually stopped and officers conducted a felony stop and arrested the occupants.
And then there's my total of 4 in custody. 2 cars in custody.
Hey,
Nail and I are
we got at least one gun.
As the investigation continued, detectives served search warrants at residences in Richmond and Oakland associated with the suspects.
Bingo. Oh!
During those searches, officers recovered suspected narcotics and additional assault-style rifles. This identify violent offenders, remove illegal firearms from our communities, and prevent further acts of violence. The investigation remains ongoing.
Coming to the city, doing what? All these things going around. You got youth out here running around, weapons.
You know,
You come out
I'm
here?
gonna just go ahead and say, this movie. You seen that movie? Will Smith back in the day.
What was it called?
Wait, I don't know what year that joint came out, but it's an old movie.
What was it called?
It came out in the 90s or something. Indian State. Will Smith and
Yes.
I think it's like Anthony Hopkins. Or,
Yeah, one of
Yeah,
them
man.
people. Right.
That's pretty much the shit that they was in the movie. And I like, all right, I suspect that this is the same shit that they've been doing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody is
Right.
in vocal. They're just being transparent about it. Like it's like, hey,
Yeah.
like all right,
Right.
on that movie, they was watching people do crimes and shit, right? Even
Right.
just like the alphabet people, they do the same thing. They watch people do crimes, but that's not why
Right.
they're here. So they're doing something else. So they seen that, and they
Right.
got the whole layout. Yeah, they saw the whole thing from finish, but they ain't even intervened.
Right.
And in some cases,
Right.
they wanted that to happen. For some shit that they was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They
Right.
show, this is why we be talking about the predicated malevolence. They be showing you all of this type stuff in movies,
Right.
These alphabet people,
Yeah.
But again, the same stuff that, that was just, detailed in that movie, Enemy of the State, that came out like more than a dime ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was back
Yeah.
like when Will
Exactly.
Smith was having his run, Independence Day and all that. So it was like 90s or something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just think about it. It's like basically 20 years ago, so 20 years plus, So, is it just a coincidence that, all right, damn, wow, I've seen that in the movie back then. And, that's somebody muttering to themselves, looking at that kind of content, like, damn, man, that's the shit they had Will Smith doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just like how you said, like, coming near you, like
Yeah.
predicated malevolence is like when you go to the movies, right? To watch before the movie come on, they giving you the coming attractions, right?
Right.
Right.
Previews.
And that's how a lot of situations are. Watching TV, you're watching TV, and you're looking at coming attractions. So you thinking, all right, the main event is the movie, right? But the main event is a coming attraction.
Yep.
That's how
To get you
prepared
prepared for the
works.
movie.
So you sat down and you made a mental note. Lord of the Rings Part 18 is coming out. This movie, Harry Potter or Hunger Games is rebooted or something, right? Event, right?
Yeah.
But the main event sometimes is a coming attraction for something to happen in quote unquote real life, or not even say real life, like society. So for something to happen in society, that's probably more
Right.
accurate. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Synonymous
Society
with
is not real life, but
right.
that's a whole nother can of.
Right. So I mean, it's in real time, and it
All right,
started
so I
with
took a
speed
lot of that
cameras.
video, the music out of it rather,
Okay.
so we can get in trouble.
That shit was just busting my ears. It was too much. That was too gangster for me. I was like, damn. Like I like hardcore. I mean, what people would call, you know what I'm saying? I remember when gangster rap first came out, that shit was a bit extreme. Like niggas started checking his
So I don't
driver's
know.
license and
I don't know
shit.
how this shit works. Well, like when we was talking about this flock shit the other day, of course, you know, um, a flock is like a herd of animals, right? You know, and the powers that shouldn't be, the I don't say that the Z boys, but they all got they got all kind of letters, But so the alphabet people, it's like human cattle, Goyim, you know what I mean? So flock is like a sagacious hint at the obvious truth that they refer to you as human cattle. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean that's why it's got flock cameras. Not a coincidence. We went through that. And just to spare you some redundancy, we're going to give you some new updates and we're going to show some things that some people are doing to just learn about some things that are going on. Just like how we talked about the Minority Report. Some people learn in the easy way, some people learn in the hard way. But we just gonna say that people are learning out there. You know what I mean? As we've seen with the with those people that got ran down on. They was thinking that they was gonna run down on something, and then they consequently they got ran down. You know. So yeah, a lot of that will be happening and has been happening. Shit, I could tell you, I knew a brother that now this was years ago. I knew a brother that he got into a situation with some people, and hammers was flying. This microphone is drunk. Hammers was flying or whatever, right? And the shit wound up being on camera and wound up being on the news. And obviously, that didn't fare too well for that person. You know what I'm saying? But that was years ago. You know what I'm saying? That they put up cameras and people don't be aware of it's funny because in some cases we see them put up cameras, or the camera itself becomes a nuisance. Like some people live in a neighborhood, where they got the cameras and they said a blue light flashing all night. I'm sure some legislation has passed or should have been passed, to mitigate that. But yeah, some people had the lights flashing right in their window. So a lot of this stuff that they saying is new. It's just you could say for the most part it's just a new version of some stuff that they already been doing. And it just being more transparent about it. But yeah, like this is like now like even like we talked about the Minority Report, the Minority Report vibes that this is giving. Almost got tongue tied. But there's a learning curve with this. And it's like with that learning curve, I seen a movie on Netflix. It was more of I guess you could say it's a documentary. A documentary on Netflix that was it was called Coded Bias, right? And it was showing how these clear people, right? They they made they put all of this coded bias into the AI models, to the point that they have trouble, like, recognizing and identifying black people. Like, and a lot of there's been a lot of extra extensive work to correct that. Even like when you think about like the AI, you see, and most people seen this post where they show like the AI like showing Will Smith eating spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? And it made like advancements over the years. But a lot of that was because of the coded bias. Like, it was the AI is even still today is better at is better with white faces than black faces. I'm gonna just be frank. You know what I'm saying? But and that's kind of the byproduct of them, not allowing enough black people in tech as they should. As they should. Or whatever. But I mean, but really, we should be doing our own. But that's a whole another discussion. But because these people, they got obviously don't be having good intentions. So I wouldn't want any black people to be involved in that. I think that we should be providing a counterbalance in that regard. We need more black people in tech, learning about tech, and providing that counterbalance. So, like, with that said, I'm gonna play this little video clip, and then I'm gonna double back into this particular learning curve that that we will experience with this whole coded bias AI flock goyim BS. So I'm trying not to curse. People tell me I curse too much. Nigga.
Block detected.
I suspect that this will happen.
Flock detected.
But luckily, Pope don't got this part.
Being out that pussy like an instrumental. Bitch, my name big cut like a pencil. Nigga, we tell all they block like Godzilla. Nigga, my phone keeps slapping like a call center. It's a hot summer, I need 3 stretches by November.
This thing still, gets away from me. But he was showing how he was learning about how the system worked, and he was saying how he was going to put together something that, that would help to detect, these flock situations. He didn't say that he was going to do anything to destroy it or or even manipulate it, any negative, way, but he did say that he was learning about, his functionalities. And, obviously this video shows that, he's made some progress with that. And he has some type of system that he's got in the works that, is giving him some heads up, about, the flock cameras, in his vicinity, which, who knows, it might get this young brother, a lot of money or something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go back to this learning curve situation. A video kind of giving more detail to the things that was shown in the previous video before this one, prior to this one. And then I want to go with some more a little bit more tech stuff. And then switch gears from there, so I'm gonna do that. I don't know what happened to this brother. I think maybe his joint cut off or something. I don't know. I was thinking that I almost vanquished him by accident or something, but if that was the case, he would have just came back. So maybe have some technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Struggle Streaming 2026, man. You know what I mean? RedPillRescue.com, PopeNEC.com. That's at Bayview. Black and Nobel, we ship to prisons. There it is. All right, let me play this video.
This is the future of flock cameras. You're absolutely going to get charged with a crime that you did not commit.
Cameras everywhere in that town. You can't get a breath of fresh air in or out without us knowing.
Chrisana Elzer learned the power of flock firsthand.
You were in town from 11:52 until 12:09. Exactly. Like I said, nothing gets in or out of the town without us knowing.
When a Colorado...
Take note of what he said there. Nothing gets in or out of the town without them knowing. Your every movement is being tracked.
Police officers showed up at her door holding flock snapshots of her truck.
And here's when you left. At 12:09, that's when you left town.
To get?
No, to stop at Ridge Trail
Wait a minute.
and take a package. Well, there's no shushing. I don't need to be...
I need to know where this is.
The first thing he pulled out
The cop gets an attitude with her.
on the body cam is that flock picture, the clear photograph of your car.
But here's your vehicle in the neighborhood many, many times, apparently casing houses, because you just can't drive through for work or visit other businesses. You can only be casing houses.
That's all it's going to take. You're going to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they're just going to assume that it was you that did it. Now imagine if it was a really bad crime.
It is her. It is 100%. It is locked in. There is zero doubt. I wouldn't have come here unless I was 100% sure.
So, all right, just to add some more detail about what's happening here. All right, so in the video prior to the one I just played, you know, Pope had played a video that had talked about, you know, somebody being arrested, you know, for driving in the neighborhood, you know, too frequently. You know what I mean? So this is the person in question right here, where basically what happened here is that there was a package thief in this same area, right? And funny enough, you know, the package thief was the blonde also. You know what I mean? And the package thief, you know, took the package on a Ring camera, right? And the flock cameras have this woman driving in the area what they consider to be too much. So, you know, these people put two and two together, like, okay, well, we got this, you know, footage of this lady. She must have been the one stealing the packages, right? And then, you know, they lead with that assumption, which is dangerous. And, you know, I want to get back to that. You know what I mean? Just like how Pope was coming back. But, you know, I want to get back to that, you know, so just make a mental high note, a highlighter of that, you know, pull out your highlighter, make a mental note of that. You know, but I'm gonna play the rest of this video. But yeah, that's a serious problem. You know,
100%. It is certain. It is on video. You're obviously welcome to go to court.
Chrisana was charged with stealing a package, but it wasn't her. The porch pirate was somebody else. Multiple times you tried to show him your video evidence. He didn't want to see it.
No, even when I called him back, he said, that's not my job.
You looked at the time of a crime. You saw my vehicle entering in the flock camera.
No, what I did was I did an investigation.
You called my wife a liar. You said this is fact.
I have video evidence.
I can't blame the husband for being heated.
I don't know what you want me to say.
The charges were dropped after Chrisana spent weeks trying to get the police chief to look at her evidence. Time-stamped video from her truck and a neighbor's doorbell camera showing she wasn't at the scene of the crime. What does it say about where we are that you feel you have to have more cameras than the police have in order to make sure you can prove yourself innocent?
It sounds like it flipped the script to your...
That's honestly a smart play. Make sure you have cameras in your car, on your car, just GPS, everything. That way they can't pin anything on you.
Guilty until you prove yourself innocent.
Without a flock camera, that detective would not have been at her door. By his own admission, he pulled out the flock picture of her car. Do you want to apologize to Chrisana Elzer for what happened to her?
For the police misusing the tools? I don't think that I have to apologize.
He wasn't charged with a crime. He wasn't, I mean, other than being reprimanded for his attitude.
Sure. No, but I would tell you that, like, should I apologize for somebody misusing a tool? I don't think so.
Flock safety chief.
They will absolutely misuse it, too.
Communication.
Town from 11:52 until 12:09. Exactly without us knowing.
Chrisana Elzer learned the power of flock first.
All right. I think it'd be fucked. That's the video. That's the video that you don't like. You know, but look, I tried to take the audio out of that video Rich is still there. But anyway,
We're in town from
getting back to
11:52 until 12.
So the problem that I want to point out with this shit is that one of the biggest problems, like, all right, like I experienced stuff like this firsthand, just dealing with technology and dealing with people that are learning technology, you know, and that's what I'm saying about the whole learning curve here. You know, there's a learning curve for everybody. You know what I mean? People who are affected and people who are affecting people, you know, with this technology. And I can remember, like, you know, doing DoorDash and Uber Eats, you know, Grubhub and all these different companies, you know, that basically, you know, run their platform with, you know, artificial intelligence. And, you know, the people who were basically there to just like talk to people or, you know, just to mediate things, basically, they don't really know nothing about what's going on. They just doing the job. You know, in most cases, they just in their house in their pajamas, you know, reading the script, you know. But the problem is that, you know, because most people, they're not familiar with the functionalities of this technology, you know, and how to troubleshoot it. You know, they just assume that it's absolute. And, you know, a lot of people suffer from that. You know, you people probably watching this probably suffer from that. We assume that computers and, you know, AI and, you know, things like this are just absolute. Like, it's correct. It's right. Like, somebody could show you something that AI said, and then it's like, oh, I just got to stand down because AI is super smart, and you know, I guess it's right. You know, but even like, you know, there's been plenty of studies and, you know, articles, peer-reviewed studies about how sometimes AI is wrong. You know, sometimes AI lies. It makes up shit. It just says shit, like literally just says shit to sound good. You know, like some of y'all grifters and influencers out there. You know, they just be saying shit to sound good. You know, but don't really mean nothing. You know, just a bunch of word salad you put together. Yeah, AI is guilty of word salad also. You know what I'm saying? But when you have this like this concept that computers and technology is infallible, you know, you could be swept under that rug, so to speak. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time, or, you know, whatever. That you assume that, you know, this is correct here because it's computer, it's AI. It can't be wrong, you know. And that's where this police officer is. You know, he's talking about he did an investigation. You ain't do no investigation. You just looked at the camera, like, like you looked at the footage and you put two and two together. That's not no real police work. You know, it's not a real investigation. You know what I'm saying? So he just led with his bias because he believes that the technology that he was sold on is absolute. Like, you know, it's not even 100% his fault. Like, you know, the people who came to them with this technology, you know, gas trying to sell a product, right? And again, you know, when you're selling something to somebody and they don't know the functionality of it, they can only go off of your word, right? So this guy doesn't know how to troubleshoot, you know, these things. Even like when you have the road guns, you know, the speed guns, they got to be calibrated every so often. So if, you know, somebody's just using it and they just think that it's just absolute and it's working, you know, you might be able to challenge them. They might even be wrong because they're like, when was the last time this speedometer thing was calibrated, you know? And they're like, oh, I didn't even know it's supposed to be calibrated. See, you know, so now we can't use these readings, you know. So when people, you know, have a job where they have to use technology, especially against other people, they best learn how it works, because you might have to eat crow one day, just like how this police officer is eating crow because he thought that computers are absolute. Anything can fuck up. people fuck up, even animals fuck up. You know, AI can fuck up, computers can fuck up, anything can fuck up. You know, that's the lesson to be learned from this. Hopefully, you know, the police officer, you know, is forced to learn this. You know, you got to learn today. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like you can't have that bias with technology. You have to understand that you are within the learning curve. You know what I'm saying? And in that learning curve, you have to understand that sometimes computers glitch, sometimes shit makes mistakes. So you can't just go off of everything the shit say. You gotta make sure that your shit is running right. You know what I mean? So you know, we welcoming Pope back. You know what I'm saying? He had a little technical difficulty, a little bad bandwidth bedlam, you know, over there. You know, I hope you put that router in the middle of the room, you know, maximize signal. But yeah, and speaking of that, I wanted to talk about some Signal or The Cell. Yo, you seen that movie The Cell back in 2016? It's like a Stephen King novel or something, you know. We talked about it before. We showed some imagery, you know. I think I'm still got a clip laying around here somewhere. But I think that kind of falls in line with some of the videos that we might show, you know, moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I don't know what you got for me. I know you got some videos that you wanted to play. So
yeah, we were talking about the flock.
Yeah, let's have it. You know.
Yeah, I got kicked off of Earth.
But yeah, that
shut down
video,
my whole situation.
That just shown was that video I just shown was about the girl who got stealing the package because she was driving around the neighborhood too much, you know. So that video that you played where the guy referenced the girl getting arrested, that was her. You know what I mean?
Okay. For sure. All right. Well, yeah. Well, too, part of that too is like just even the surveillance thing that's going on. Like, for example, these phones that are having things take over.
Technology never makes mistakes. You know.
Right. And they're just, you know, doing these things without your permission. And the more they get to moving,
that is going to track and note take all of your conversations that it can listen to. The amount of surveillance tech being normalized right now is astounding. We have the KIDS Act in Congress that wants to implement ID checks just to access the internet. We have the highly invasive Meta glasses collabing with Kylie Jenner. We have Google trying to scan your fingerprints and palms, pretending it's a reCAPTCHA. We have Google admitting earlier this year that all the AI systems they're forcing into their phones is actually a way to harvest your data to further train their AI systems. And then they added Nano Banana 2 onto their phones so that they could scan all of your photos. And now they want to harvest your audio data by recording and banking all of your conversations and the ambient noise around you whenever you go places.
Now, a lot of these people a lot of us people are at a point where their phones are pretty much connected to them. They do their business according to. Most of your platforms run on Google unless you have some other kind of, operating system, so on and so forth. And for the most part, quite a few people have an @Gmail type scenario and, Yahoos and things. But these things are being implemented whether you want them to or not. And their opt-out is go ahead, delete it. Just go with another company. After you already got your shit situated as it is right now. And see, especially for, like, as you rely on these devices and things, understand that it's not if, it's when. And they're giving us dates about these things. Check it out.
It is very, very clearly not something for the public, but purely for these companies. The fact that they're trying to sell so many of these as like a cognitive tool, audio memory, or Microsoft's Copilot Recall, where they're just scanning everything you do on your computer, banking it, and then pretending like, yeah, it's for you to, so that you can remember stuff. We're not going to use any of this data, we promise. You don't need an AI note taker, because you can open the phone's Notes app and type it yourself, or record an audio message for yourself. The phone already knows where you are in time and space. It knows who you're messaging. We have Microsoft Recall, which is probably going to get moved over to phones at some point, and now they want to listen to everything you say and all of the things around you.
So everything that was gone over in this video is absolutely real, it's absolutely in development, and they have planned releases for all of it. Now, let's just start with the Kids Act. This is something that's passed the U.S. House already. It's the same thing they're doing in Europe. And what it's going to do is it's going to require ID checks and data collection for everyone, not just for kids. This is...
How could you be so naive?
Right. The Kids Act.
You know, just like I said earlier, you know, like, you know, they show you, and when you think like, you know, we've been saying this shit for years. Like this stuff is not new. Like it's just like, I want to say like this is like somebody who's like they've been asleep, or they were asleep during the party and they woke up and realized there's a party going on. Like, you know, this shit has been going on. Like, all right. When it's saying like people was like, oh, my phone is gonna start listening to my conversation. For how long? Your phone? How long you had your phone? Like, hey Google, hey Siri, and the shit goes, hey, what's up? And, or you had how long you had Alexa in your house, and you say, hey Alexa, hey, what's up? So that shit ain't been listening. Did you honestly think that shit ain't been listening? Like, or like we showed you the video about a year and some change about how the earbuds is downloading your brain waves and then reconfigure it or whatever to figure out what you was thinking about, so they could sell you some shit and got records and records of people's thoughts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And these people come with these videos like, oh, they starting this, they're gonna do this. They've been doing this shit. They've been doing this since they've been doing stuff like this since they took away your option to take out the battery out of your phone. You know what I'm saying? We told you this years ago, off is not off no more. You know, people just is not paying attention. So it's like, if this you have to realize that if this is alarming to you at this late in the game, then it's like you've been asleep at the wheel this whole time. You know, they've been doing this shit, and they've been giving you options. They've been giving you options to opt out. You can opt out. You know, but it's like at this point, this late in the game, it's like you know, you could literally opt out of shit where they say like, this app says that we're gonna cut on your microphone. This app says that we're going to cut your camera on, and you can say no, right? You used to be able to say no, but now with the automate, because AI is basically just automated. You know, it's not something that's like brand new out of the woodworks. It's just all it's doing is they have things set to with automation now, like how the guy was saying. All right, the app, the phone, it goes and makes a note for you. You know what I'm saying? Or it's making, and so if it hears you talk, like they roll it out like this, like, oh, so say you had a bright idea and you're telling one of your friends about this great idea you had. Your phone is going to recognize that. And then it'll take down the notes for you. And then everybody clap, and then how wonderful that bullshit is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because that's how it's being sold to you. It's being sold to you. It's like, oh yeah, it's for your convenience. You know, your phone is gonna know when you're pontificating and just get to jotting down whatever you're saying, right? I guess it can tell the difference between when you plotting on somebody or you talking. You might just be mad one day. Let's say you just mad, you just talking out, blowing off some steam. Like, I'll slap the shit out that motherfucker. And your phone is like, yep, nope, so slap so and so. This time, you know what I'm saying? And it's to send the shit to the authorities. He's gonna slap so and so. He told me,
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? So that's the other side of it. So yeah, if it knows that you're talking about some off the wall idea that you might forget, and it's like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna write this down for you. Yeah, then it can also take record of what you saying, some wild shit. But what I'm saying to you is this: the more important one thing I'm saying to you is that this ain't nothing new. Right. If you how long you had a phone that you say, hey Google or hey Siri, and your shit light up? Come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? What you thought that was for? And even in terms and conditions, you hit okay, and it didn't read none of that. You know what I'm saying? So like now when it's like they gave you all the different options to leave and go get something else, So as the hole got smaller and smaller and smaller, it's like now that people's pigeonholed, it's like, oh, you moaning and groaning, But it's like, man, like there's other phone options out there. You might
what you gonna do now, Eric?
Legwork. You might have to learn some coding or something. You know what I'm saying? But there's other options. Like you're not forced to use. You're not forced to use Apple. You're not even forced to have a phone, really. But see, they lure you in like sheep in the slaughterhouse. So like they get you all the way down this long aisle, right? And the long aisle, it took you years to get down here. Multiple different phones, all them different phones, all different versions. You got normalized, you got comfortable, and you got invested. All your stuff is here. So when they switch up on you and say, now you can't leave, or they say, hey, if you're gonna stay here, you gotta do this. It's harder for you to say, you know what, I'll just leave. See, a new customer, a convert, right? A new customer can say, what? Google said what? Oh, you know what? Well, but you ain't getting away from it because basically Google is just doing stuff that Apple is already. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna leave us out. It's the same thing. So when Google raised the bar, right? Then Apple will raise the bar. Oh, they doing that over there? Okay, well then we gonna do it too.
Yeah, they're like, we've been doing that. Y'all just can't see it. It's in the background. Because you ain't never had access at your phone like that. Them Apple phones don't even work like that. Yeah.
And they tell you turn your phone. Listen, Apple phones don't even got SIM cards, man.
Right. Exactly.
They don't even have SIM cards. They have SIM cards in like 2 versions. So like they could cut your phone on and cut it off. Even with with the Androids, at least you can still use a physical SIM card, right? Which they can still turn on and off, but it's you do have some, I guess you could say, customization there, right? I wouldn't say freedom, but customization. And that's the thing to understand is that customization is not freedom. Shit, liberty is not freedom. So your phone gives you some liberties, right? But it's not freedom. You think this is yours. You know what I mean? But you have a user profile on your mobile device. You know what I'm saying? But who's
they're going to show you what that means. Yeah, they're going to.
Who's the admin?
They're going to show you.
Right. PlayStation is finding out that. Who's the admin on your device? You got a user profile, right, on your PlayStation device. The admin. You turn your shit off. We take the matter of fact, we ain't even gonna sell you them type of video games, and then people was mad,
right?
But look how late in the game they did that. They didn't do that when they needed you. They didn't do that when it was a hot ticket. They doing it now that it's like we strong enough to survive without that. They did those projections. They got AI to do that. They got the AI to do the projections. Like if we do this now, how is this going to affect our bottom line? Oh no, you should be good.
Yep.
Most people would comply. Okay, let's do it. All right. But look, I ain't getting no digital.
Charge you an X amount of money.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or same thing with the Google thing. All right, you can't do this on our platform no more. So if you want to run an app on our phone, on our platform, you got to turn over this information. You got to comply, or we're going to ban your app worldwide.
Yep.
So they just locking the door. Like these things is like, I don't want you to think that these things were not possible before. It's just that they got you in a position where it's harder for you to leave now.
Well.
But you do have options. It's just really just to how bad do you want it? That's really what it's about.
Right.
What you
how
got,
bad
right?
do you like
What's, the rest of this?
Yeah. We can
right.
Check the rest of this. And here, let's see.
Just getting rid of anonymous accounts and making everyone give their ID to use the internet. And it's happening right here in the United States. This is not just Europe. We have the Meta glasses. The Google reCAPTCHA hand palm print is a pretty wild one. This is going to capture 21 different hand landmarks, including your knuckles, and it's going to give Google more of your biometric data. You can kind of go through some of these other points that were mentioned in the video, but one that I want to go back up to is the audio memory feature. This is going to be on Pixel phones. It's real, it's in development, and what it's going to do is it's going to keep track of what you hear throughout the day, from your music to your important conversations. So this is something that is actually going to happen. The phone is going to track what you say the entire day, who you talk to. And let's be honest, nobody wants this. Nobody is actually going to use anything that has to do with this feature. This is just mass surveillance repackaged as a useless feature.
So it just goes to show.
I remember I remember when people used to be like, I think they tapped my phone. And it's like, I just laugh because it's like, like they used to tap phones in like the 70s. Like,
right.
It's like that's so 1997 or that's so 1970, 79.
That's primitive.
Like, it's like they don't need to tap your phone. They just click on it on the screen and highlight it.
Yeah.
They just wave the cursor over your line and double click it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the network is like let's put it in perspective. The network is tapped. You know what I'm saying? So if you think that these people is just now being able to do this, no, it's really more of a legal thing. We've moved into a space that we can legally tell you.
Yeah. Yep.
That we doing it.
We're secure enough.
AI opens up. See, look, this is why. This is the thing that people don't understand. AI opens up a whole legality there. Now we talked about this vaguely, a couple of days ago, what we were saying about, we dropped this on you plenty of times actually, about the Internet of Things. You know what I mean? And to be a part of the Internet of Things, you have to be a thing. And AI is one of those things. Flock is one of those things, right? So those things that are non-biological entities, right? There was a movie that came out, Mission Impossible, I think it was called like the Reckoning or something. It was like a 2-part movie, you know what I'm saying? But it was basically like the most recent Mission Impossible. So the enemy or the bad guy, right? It wasn't a guy at all, It wasn't a geyser, it wasn't a galaxy, So it wasn't a man or a woman, it was an entity. That's what they referred to it with. It was an entity. And this entity is non-biological, right? So, in the legality space, a non-biological entity might be exempt from certain laws, that are written against man, because in most cases, laws written against man. When these laws were constructed, nobody was thinking about writing laws against robots or entities, right? Programs, AI, right? So when they come with this new technology, it creates a loophole to where it's like, well, it's not us doing it, it's the AI doing it. And the law says that no humans can do this. But it doesn't say anything about robots. Robots can do it. AI can do it, right? So they just so there's more of a legality thing. It's like, yeah, we can tell you, like if you think that they wasn't doing this, then you really been in La La Land too long. Like, we all been in La La Land. I got some shit laying around in here from La La Land. But yeah, you've been there too long, because you thinking that that's a real place. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing this. It's just a matter of legality. Is that with the given set loopholes, we can tell you and not be wrong. So like, it's like, yeah, they can tell you, like, yeah, when like, if you notice now, a lot of these companies are just straight up telling you your silence is compliance. You're here, so therefore you comply. So they don't gotta act. They ain't even asking you, like, hey, is it okay if we do this? Because it's not them doing it. As a human, they have to ask you that. Just like Dracula has to ask to come in your house. But if they make an AI Dracula that can just fly in your house because it's not a human and it doesn't have to abide by those same laws that are set for the entity, that would be Dracula, because Dracula is not human, right? So, a little correction there, but yeah, I'm saying, like, imagine if there was a robot Dracula, right? And the robot Dracula is not bound by the laws of the actual Dracula. Therefore, they can just fly in your house and drink your blood. That's pretty much what's going on here. Dracula has to ask. The AI Dracula does not have to ask. Your silence is compliance. You hear, therefore you comply. You know what I mean? And they running with that. But the thing is that, like a lot of things that we talk about, they kind of go together. You know what I mean? We talked about, the political sector, and, how it's just, a pile of tricks. Politics is a pile of tricks, which is also a pile of shit, but that's, but you know what I'm saying? We don't need these people to vote on things that don't affect them for us, you know what I'm saying? Well, just move out the way and let us vote on our own issues. You know what I'm saying? So if these people are saying, like, hey, how y'all feel about this AI situation? Yeah, you feeling good about it? You want to talk about it? And we can say, hey, yeah, you know what? We came up with our own bill, and we want some restrictions and some provisions put on this AI shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just being like, hey, what was me? Like, oh, what they doing this to us, and I guess I just got to go along with it. You know what I'm saying? Utilize your resources. Like I say, make a nuisance complaint. Contact your state representative. Just so somebody told me the squeaky wheel gets the oil. You know what I'm saying? So be a squeaky wheel. We need thousands and thousands of squeaky wheels. You know what I'm saying? Pope, didn't you say that? What was it? What was that you said the people rejected? Particular program. What was it? Who you said that was?
Oh, in Mexico. Here. Yeah. Here.
It came Mexico. May. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Down in Mexico, they had. Let me see. Where was? Oh, here it is. You see? Yeah, they had the digital ID. With
disobedience, a refusal to obey unjust laws. More of what we saw in Mexico. Critical report on how the population of Mexico, the people, have completely and utterly rejected and refused to comply with Mexico's digital ID laws that were passed and put in place over a year ago. So this is a huge story because it shows you where the real power is. In Mexico, the laws are on the books, right? They were going to be the first major country to enact full-scale digital ID and biometric facial scanning for identification in the country of Mexico, and they passed a law to that nature. Well, fast forward a year, the deadline was July 1st, and it came and go. It came and went. The Mexican government had to get up in a press conference and say, well, unfortunately, over 80% of the Mexican population have simply refused to comply. They're not doing it. They just basically gave the double middle finger to the Mexican government and to the law because it's unjust, it's immoral, it's illegal, and it has to go. And so this is where the power is. It is in grassroots organization.
Yeah.
I know what people are thinking out there. I know what they're thinking. They're thinking, oh, that's Mexico, you know. You can't do that here. You know what I mean? All right, well, I'm gonna say, is it worth it? It's an alternative. What's alternative? Is it not worth it? You know,
there was a time.
Let your voice be heard. Like if these people gaslight us with we the people and all 250-year anniversary and all, well then we the people, we don't like the bullshit that's happening here. Right. You don't have to vote. Like you can hold your vote, you know, on some quid pro quo shit, just like how Trump be doing. Something for me? Well, you got to do something for me. You know what I'm saying? Out of the bullshit, then look, I'm not doing shit that you asked me to do unless you do something for me. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Don't keep going and just going along with the bullshit. These motherfuckers is doing. Look how these people is turning up on you. So, all right, if every system that you could think of is turning up on you, right? When are you going to flock back?
When are you going to do something about it?
What the flock is going on right now? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing it in your face.
Back. You know what I mean?
And maybe it's some people that can't.
You know,
maybe they can't. Maybe there's something that's going on. Maybe it's something that because they had an opportunity to flock back before and they didn't. Speaking of aviation, or what was it, the avian scenario? I mean, there was a time when somebody could have stood up for themselves. That there was we're still reeling from when people had made a different decision. And I mean, as we get further into this, even more so, it's like you still got the fight in you. You're still gonna have to fight regardless. Because we out here fighting for you and trying to bring you this information that's necessary for you to get this. And pay attention. Because just like with people being able to fight back, there's other things that you can do to help you go along with these things. Because just like with these, just like with these things that's going on, I mean, like people knowing about like their TVs and shit. You think that your email is the only thing that's flipping out? You think your apps on your phone is the only thing that's flipping out? You know, you go home and you watch TV, sit in front of the things and knowing what's going on. I mean, it's a lot of bad shit, but there are also people coming with remedies that help. I mean, and at the same time, one of these things that I seen was when the brother was talking about what's going on with people TVs and such. Especially if you got, everybody got these brand new ones, talking about how it worked. But look, check this. These are things that we can do.
On sale, it might be cheaper.
See, this is, people that's looking and having like-minded individuals. Like, hold on, what we gonna do about these things? I mean, these are certain things that we can do that, as
for a
regular people,
reason.
and share if you
Since
care.
Consumer Reports dropped their investigation last October, we now know most smart TVs come with ACR turned on by default. That's automatic content recognition. It takes snapshots of your screen constantly, figures out exactly what you're watching, even from cable or Blu-ray, and sells that data to advertisers. Now, if you're a person that care about your privacy, then you need to turn this off. It only takes a minute, and your TV will still work the same afterward. Now, if you have a Samsung TV, go to settings, then to general, privacy, terms and privacy, then uncheck viewing information services. Now, for y'all to have LGT TVs, go to settings, then general, system, additional settings, and turn off Live Plus. Now, for the ones that have TLC or Roku TVs, go to settings, privacy, smart TV experience, and uncheck use info from TV input. Yes, now you should be good to go, all y'all. You already have paid for your TV. You shouldn't have to pay for your privacy too. If you didn't know, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. I love y'all. Be safe.
Yeah. I want him to go to his settings. And I want him to go to general. And then turn off his gold do-rag. Turn off. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he gets that. And if I pick one, if you're going to do gold, do-rag, you can't have the glasses on. One got to go. You have to go to settings, go to Joe, and turn off the old do-rag. You know what I mean? But we appreciate you, brother, for that information, how to properly navigate these nefarious smart TVs. You know what I mean? It's definitely a system that we're gonna have to change in all of our licenses. So I would encourage everybody to look for do some Google searches or DuckDuckGo searches or whatever. Some things that you might be able to opt out of. Dealing with AI and that, you know what I mean? Or start learning about tech. They got a lot of free tech courses out here right now. People that's giving up the game. But yeah, learn how to flock back. You know what I mean?
Foreign-made routers are banned in the US now?
Yeah, but you don't need to buy routers anymore. You can just build your own.
How?
It's called a homebrew router.
What is that?
I'll tell you. A homebrew router is just a custom-built networking device that does everything your ISP router does, but you control it completely. All you need to build one is something like a Raspberry Pi, a micro SD card, a USB to gigabit Ethernet adapter. This whole thing runs on something like a Raspberry Pi OS Lite.
Okay, but can a homemade contraption like that really replace the router my provider gives me?
Absolutely. The biggest difference between this and normal ISP is you get control over everything. You can block certain types of traffic, monitor bandwidth in real time, run custom tools like VPN servers.
Okay, but surely the internet speeds have to be sloth-like.
No, a tuned Raspberry Pi with proper NAT configuration can route up to 900 megabits per second in real-world testing. Most home
all of these things that you can buy, online. You know what I mean? It's a good tech store.
Foreign-made routers are banned in the US now?
Yeah, but you don't need to buy routers.
But yeah, you can buy all this stuff on Amazon. Matter of fact, when you run it back.
Dude, did you hear foreign-made routers are banned in the US now?
Yeah, but you don't need to buy routers anymore. You can just build your own.
How?
It's called a homebrew router.
What is that?
I'll tell you. A homebrew router is just a custom-built networking device that does everything your ISP router does, but you control it completely. All you need to build one is something like a Raspberry Pi, a micro SD card, a USB to gigabit Ethernet adapter. This whole thing runs on something like a Raspberry Pi OS Lite.
Okay, but can a homemade contraption like that really replace the router my provider gives me?
Absolutely. The biggest difference between this and normal ISP is you get control over everything. You can block certain types of traffic, monitor bandwidth in real time, run custom tools like VPN servers.
Okay, but surely the internet speeds have to be sloth-like.
No, a tuned Raspberry Pi with proper NAT configuration can route up to 900 megabits per second in real-world testing. Most home
Now, I don't know why this video is keep messing up at this point, but basically, he's saying how, your average service provider basically, caps you, at anywhere from 100 to 200, megabits per second. You know what I mean? But this home-based, grassroots, router, homegrown router, right? Pun intended. Is putting out up to 900 megabits per second allegedly. Which and you can do some customizations and add, whatever kind of security measures that you want, without, being charged up the wazoo. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, if this sparks your interest, if you start to learn more about tech, especially if you're concerned about your safety and your well-being. Even with the whole Google thing, there's a couple of tutorials online to how to de-Google your phone. Just like we mentioned before, you can this the other different operating systems, out there that you can, install on your phone. You might take a little elbow grease, a little leg work, but if you're really concerned about some of the things that that these people are doing, and more things that are come, then take some precautions. Take some measures to do what you need to have done to get what you want to get. So moving right along.
Yep.
See what else I want to talk about here. I did have this other video I wanted to play, but somehow it came out in Spanish, which was weird because when I watched it, it wasn't in Spanish. But then it, I guess maybe when I downloaded it, I might have asked for it to be in Spanish or something. But I mean, I could play it for those who know Spanish. So. I mean, you know what? You think that might help? Maybe they might give it some reach if we play some Spanish, some Spanish dialogue or something. You might have to go get somebody Spanish. Like, yeah, go get somebody Spanish to listen to this. What you think, man?
Well,
I kind of get what was happening. This person has like a signal jammer, but it allows them to basically gives them a door, where they can go in and out as they please, but only signals come in that they want to come in, basically. So that's what's happening in the video that I could play. I'm on the fence about it because niggas is speaking Spanish, so what would you think? You think I should play it? You think I should play this Spanish speaking gibberish? Well, I mean, it's no disrespect to not gibberish. I don't know.
Nah, because as far as translation, because it could be lost in translation. Like far as what we're trying to gather, and if we were trying to translate what it is that we believe, because I actually, I understand Spanish, and
I know what the video is about. Yeah, I know what the video is about. That's what I was just explaining. But you know, just as far
But
as the
adding
dialogue was
context where it's
actually being
needed.
said, you know,
Right, right.
somebody
Yeah, you got to have the context that goes with
who
it.
speaks Spanish would have to, you know, interpret it.
Yeah, and you also got to have the context to go with it, in which, you know, most of those things are important. But
Well, you know, yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, but yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna just opt out of playing it. But basically, you know, I already explained it anyway. But you know, yeah, but fancy yourself with some knowledge about, you know, just tech in general. You know, and I'll spare you the technical terms, but just tech in general. Even myself, you know, I want to get more, learn more about, you know, the tech world and you know, this AI stuff, you know, and all that. Like, you know, so I think we were owe it to ourselves to learn, you know, learn more about this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna put this down. What you got, man? Um,
oh, I'm done. Yes,
oh my god.
yes, sir. It's a good 2 hours and 10 minutes. We in. I mean, time wise, we can do another one in the future. It's definitely,
Well, you know, we
you
can
know,
leave it
something for
there.
folks to think about.
See you, Mark. Shout out to
Yep.
Philadelphia. Shout out to San Francisco. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia,
California.
California.
Exactly. We, you know, hey, words without action have no meaning. And what we've been trying to put together is, you know, we're going over these news on a daily, trying to, you know, give you digestible parts. And if you feel that, you know, leave a comment. Let us know how we did, what we can do better, what we can add to it, what we can take away from it. Because we only get better by y'all input, y'all comments, and appreciate you. And you know, if it takes a village, we built this one. Salute to y'all. And share if you care. Share if you
Yeah.
don't care, because somebody cares enough for the both of us.
Mm-hmm. So if you come across vital information, man, it's your obligation to share it with the nation. You know. So with that said, I say peace and benedictions. You know, stay on point. Stay on point like a dope needle. You know what I'm saying? And only you can prevent cognitive dissonance. Yeah.
Salute. Peace.